I don't know whether people join or not. No, I'm just kind of spitballing here to share some information about nickel that I have firsthand experience with and that I think you will find really important. So, anyone who's paying attention knows that nickel went up 250% in a day. And in fact, trading was suspended, I think, through Monday on nickel. And these are silver war nickels here. And this is going to affect everybody. You may not even realize how much nickel is used in every single day applications in every aspect of our lives, every single day. And I want to talk about my experience with it because I work in an industry that is directly affected by this. And the industry I work in directly affects everybody. So, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, I really hope that today is the day that I earn your subscription. I want to try to bring you some helpful information about nickels, and these are war nickels. War nickels were minted from 1942 to 1945 because nickel was a strategic war material during World War II. There was a shortage then. So they made nickels out of a copper, silver, manganese alloy. A 35% silver war nickel is 0.0562 ounces of silver. The rest is copper and manganese. So these are cool. I like these. Some people don't consider this stackable, and I get it. You need a lot of them to amount to anything. So you need 20 of them to make an ounce. So anyhow, some other things that you may not know about nickel. Its everyday uses are vast. And I'm going to go through some of these really quickly, and then I'm going to share with you my experience and what industry I'm in that this is going to affect. So nickel, compared to other materials, nickel products possess a high corrosion resistance, great toughness, with strength and flexibility at high temperatures. And it's used in a range of special magnetic and electronic properties. So, most nickel production is used for alloying elements, coatings, batteries, some other uses such as kitchenwares, mobile phones, medical equipment, transport, buildings, power generation, jewelry. So the most important thing that nickel is used for, though, is stainless steel. And that is the business that I am. It's also used in non-ferrous metal alloys, alloy steels, steel plating. It's used in foundries. But I'm in the stainless steel business, guys. I work in a business where I make stainless steel. I don't make, I sell, by the way. I work for a company that fabricates custom stainless steel tanks and vessels for the food and beverage, pharmaceutical, and CBD businesses. So why is that important? Well, nickel makes up 8% of 316 steel. The case and bezel of this watch is 316 stainless. Um, Rolexes use 316 stainless steel. The watches at Walmart use 316 stainless steel. Stainless steel is used in everything because of its temperature and corrosion resistance. It doesn't rust. Okay? So these war nickels, as cool as they are, they're probably not as valuable. Silver is, I would say, other than silver, there's probably not a more important industrial metal than nickel. So nickel going up by 250%, I'll tell you how it's affected my business. all of the vendors that provide our stainless steel sheet material, heads, ferrules, fit the prices off their websites. They stopped quoting and they're waiting for the market to reopen, hopefully on Monday, to see what's going to happen. How does this affect you? Do you use medicine? Because every pharmaceutical, every medicine is made and blended in stainless steel tanks and vessels. Every single one of them. I can't think of a single medicine that is blended in a non-stainless steel tank. There are probably some plastics that could be used, but stainless steel rules the day for big pharma when it comes to Johnson and Johnson, Moderna. Think of the people who are making our vaccines, Pfizer. They all use stainless steel skids, multi-million-dollar stainless steel skids. And by the way, every medicine has their own. They don't cross-contaminate. Food and beverage. Food and beverage uses stainless steel. And whoever you are who's watching right now, give me a like and share this, because I think that this is fairly important stuff. So the food and beverage industry is huge in stainless steel. Huge. And when I say food and beverage, I mean food and beverage. There are slurries and byproducts and ingredients mixed within 316 stainless steel. Again, 8% nickel. That again, we can't get. When I do a quote, we call it a RFQ, an engineering firm that is building a company, building a plant, let's say for Tesla. The Gigafactory in Austin, Texas right now is being built, and they have stainless steel processes, and they're using engineering firms to design all of this. And then they come to a company like us and ask us to quote. And so when we quote certain kinds of powder hoppers and things of that nature, we send a quote, and that quote is good for a week because the prices change so frequently with inflation. Prices change incredibly frequently. And so we hold our quotes for 7 days. And now we can't even quote because our stainless steel vendors for sheet material, pipe, tube, hose, ferrules, things of that nature, they're completely they've taken all of their pricing offline. And this isn't like the silver squeeze, okay? There isn't a paper derivatives market on nickel. There isn't one. Because when you buy nickel on a futures market, it's because you want to take delivery of it. You need it. You're going to use it. Nobody's stacking nickel, although maybe we'll start now. Maybe it'll become like, palladium and platinum and things like that, which are really, outside of Russia, have never been really monetary metals at all. But now we're stacking them. So that's the thing. These are the things we need to consider. Stainless steel is used in jewelry. It's used in pet food applications. Pet food vessels have as high of a sanitary standard for construction as pharmaceutical. And it's higher than most food and beverage, believe it or not. Livestock feed. I mean, there's so many things. Eggs. I'm just spitballing off the top of my head here and just kind of shooting things out as they come to mind. So this is going to affect us all. This nickel short squeeze is going to affect everybody. And I think it's time that we start thinking like preppers. And if you're stacking, you kind of already are a prepper, right? I don't like the word prepper, right? Because there's a connotation that goes with prepper. I like to think of preparedness more than being a prepper, because preparedness is what wisdom, wise people are prepared for whatever storm may come their way. So, so we have to insulate ourselves from and protect ourselves that are sure to come if the kitty split. And I have no reason to believe it's going to be honest. I have no reason to believe that this short squeeze is going to end this week. Why would it? Short squeezes never end well, especially for the people on the wrong end of the trade. So be prepared, guys. Have your preps in place. And what do I mean? I mean, look, buy, 1 to 2 months worth of everything that you're already using in terms of food and drink. If your family eats a lot of spaghetti, load up on pasta, which, by the way, an awful lot of wheat and grains comes from Russia and Ukraine. The Ukraine was called the breadbasket of Europe for a reason. What do you make bread with? So you have to think about these things. You have to consider these things. And be ready. Have a preparedness mindset so that when the tornado hits your trailer park, you're ready. You're ready. And you'll be in a position to be a blessing to your neighbors. I don't want people to think of preparedness as selfishness. This is something, if you've watched my interview with Star Path Academy, he talks about relationships with neighbors. We need that. We're going to need that. So whoever just stopped in, thanks for joining. I hope you'll watch this from the beginning because I've been talking about the applications of nickel and how it's going to affect everybody's lives. So be ready. Russia has the third largest reserves of nickel, and I think it was Australia. Kind of like these sanctions going on. Maybe you've heard about that, but nobody's really doing business with Russia right now because there's a war or something. I don't know. It's really complicated. I don't understand. I'm just waiting for the Facebook fact checkers to tell me what to think. So until then, I really don't want to say anything else because it freaks me out, to be honest. I mean, of course I'm being silly here, but look, there's pain coming for everybody, and we are at a point right now where we are in control of how much pain we're going to take, but every day you're getting closer and closer to a point where you're not going to have control of where that pain is going to come from and how much you're going to feel its effects. So get prepared. Here's what I did. I went shopping today. I spent like $120 and I just bought some staples. I bought a lot of staples. I encourage you to do the same. This is not financial advice. Yeah. I'm giving you financial advice here. Think about your future. Think about how you can be a blessing to your family and your neighbors by being ready. The poor are going to be hit hardest by this. The least of these, right? And Jesus says, whatever you do for the least of these, you've done for me. So if you can give a poor person a meal, some water, some bread, some comfort, even if it's emotional, do it. Don't let this current state of uncertainty drive you into a narcissism. Look for opportunities where you can help your neighbors. Look for opportunities where you can help other people. Stacking is kind of this inherently self selfishing, and not selfish in a negative way, but I mean, we're doing it for us. We're doing it to secure our futures, to protect our futures. These war nickels, represent a hedge against the inflation that we're currently experiencing, right? And I just brought nickels out because we're talking about nickel. So, you know, this stuff doesn't have to destroy who we are. It can make us a better version of who we are. And we're not having to scramble for food and wonder where our next meal is coming from. It gives us the energy to expend on our neighbors and to be a blessing to them, and to help other people. We'll have the energy to help others. I mean, what are you going to do? Lock yourself in a bunker with a gun and shoot anyone that dares come too close? That's not how I want to live. That is not how I want to live. That's not the world I want my children to grow up in. So I think I've said enough in this live stream. If you're just joining, give me a thumbs up. Go back and watch this from the beginning. I talked about the industrial applications of nickel and the nickel short squeeze and how it's really going to affect us all and make this inflation situation much worse for everybody. And my personal experience in industry working with this stuff. I don't know. If you want to leave a chat, maybe there's other stuff you want to talk about. If you have any questions at all about silver stacking, I don't do a ton of live stream stuff just because it's hard to attract an audience as small as my channel is and as few views as I get. But I'd love to have a conversation with the community and talk about things with the economy. I know a little bit about this stuff. I might be able to answer some of your questions. Maybe you don't even understand what a short squeeze is. I was explaining, I was at work trying to explain a short squeeze to two of my coworkers that they didn't quite grasp it. And I get it. These are complex things. And it's not like we're taught to think in terms of markets. We're just taught to get credit cards, go into debt, buy a car, go into debt, buy a house, get a mortgage, go into debt, and live in that debt in perpetuity. That's what we're taught. We're a consumerist society that's, everything that we do is based on consumption. So when you start talking about markets and the market's effects on people, they tend to glaze over, and I get that. It's like talking to me about sports. I'm gonna glaze over. I just really don't care. But when it comes to this stuff, when it's affecting everybody's lives, you're gonna want to know. Nobody knew what a mortgage-backed security was in 2007. But by 2009, everybody knew what a mortgage-backed security was, right? So, yeah, but if there's no questions coming in, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I think I've said everything I wanted to say. Again, if you are watching and you're not subscribed, I hope today is the day that I earn your subscription. Please share this. This is important stuff. I want people to be ready. I want people to be excited for the opportunities that are going to come up to be a blessing to the people around you. When the world is falling apart and there's instability and insecurity everywhere, you can be the rock of your community. You have the opportunity to be a cornerstone, a foundation pillar, holding everything up. And I don't want to, make too much of it, but there's going to be some real opportunities out there for leaders to emerge. And shouldn't that be us? Not me personally. Sound money, monetary policy. When this world resets, and it's going to, shouldn't we be the one on top people, but to help people in the transition stage? So that's just kind of my thoughts on the whole thing. So what are your thoughts? 20 minutes in, No chat, so I'm going to sign off. Leave your comments below. I'm happy to respond to you. And we will see you on the next one.